Welcome to the Torah Podcast, Parshas Re'eh. The first pasuk in the parsha. Re'eh anoichi noisein lifneichem hayoim bracha uklala. Look, I've placed in front of you today bracha uklala. Many yesoides we can bring out from this pasuk, and it's just the first pasuk in the parsha. Re'eh is lashon yochid. Lifneichem is lashon rabim. All the commentators quarrel and struggle to understand why the pasuk changed its tense, its grammar. It doesn't add up. The pasuk is incongruent. Why would the pasuk start b'lashon yachid and finish b'lashon rabim? Says the Vilna Gaon, an unbelievable insight. Klal Yisrael, when we got the Torah, we were ki'ish echad b'leiv echad. We were one man with one heart. We are all connected, all of Klal Yisrael. In order for us to get the Torah, it seemed as though it was a t'nai. It was a condition for us all to become one. And now that we have the Torah, we're forever one. We're all united. We're all part of one whole. So the pasuk refers to us as one. And we also, I would point out, we have to take this as mamish, not like a nice Kabbalistic idea that yes, we're all connected, but rather very literal. We are actually all connected at the hip. We are all connected and responsible for each other. But says the Vilna Gaon, but if a person's going to come up to the next world and say, you know, Hashem, I'm sorry I wasn't so zocha to do so many mitzvahs, but look at Moshe or look at Rachel. Look how many mitzvahs they did. And look, we're all connected. So, I have a part of their mitzvahs. Says the Vilna Gaon, no. The pasuk changes to Re'eh anoichi nosein lifneichem. We're all connected and we're all one whole. But a person has his own bechira and a person still is responsible for his own avodas Hashem. Ein hadavar taloi ela bi. We all have to do our own avodas Hashem, and bechira is in our own hands to make the right decision. Bracha oiklala. Onward. The Orach Chaim HaKadosh has an unbelievable insight that you will not believe on this pasuk. The Orach Chaim lived in the early 1700s. I think it was Nifter in the 1740s. Not that long ago, around 300 years ago. And if the Orach Chaim didn't say this, I don't imagine we'd be able to say this vart. Says the Orach Chaim, you're reading the pasuk wrong. Or, let me rephrase that. Not that you're reading the pasuk wrong, but you can read the pasuk a different way. Re'eh anoichi noisein lifneichem hayoim bracha uklala. Who's talking here? Moshe Rabbeinu is giving his final shmooze, his final drasha to the people, his final sermon. And he's telling the people, Re'eh, look, anoichi, at me, noisein lifneichem, I'm in front of you all, today bracha uklala. You all can be like me. Obviously not in a gaivadik way, chas v'shalom, but in a way of anivos. But Moshe Rabbeinu is saying, yes, you're a person. Yes, we're humans and we're not angels. But with enough effort and with enough work, Re'eh anoichi, you can, look at me. Histakel ba'atzmi. Look at me, Moshe Rabbeinu is saying. You can become like me. A human-born person can talk face to face to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Gemara in Ksubis, it's a Gemara in Yuma, Daf Lamed Hey Amid Beis. I saw this in the Sefer Yerav Adas from the Manchester Rosh Yeshiva. Famous Gemara. Listen to this Gemara. All of our claims in the next world will have a rebuttal from HaKadosh Baruch Hu because of these people, says the Gemara. If a person will say, I'm sorry that I was not able to live up to my potential, chas v'shalom, because I was too poor and I needed to make money, Hashem will say, look at Hillel. Hillel was way poorer than you, and look at the Torah giant that he became. If a person will say, I was just too wealthy, I had to take care of my estates and my businesses and take care of all of my affairs. I'm sorry, Hashem, but I just didn't have time. Look how much look how much I had to take care of. Hashem will say, look at Rebbe Lazar. Rebbe Lazar was richer than you. And look at how great he became. If a person will say, Hashem, I had so much desire, so much taiva, so much lust, so many cravings. Hashem will say, look at Yosef. Yosef had way more than you. And look how great he became. The Gemara continues on with so many different things that we might say. Look at the Gemara in Yuma over there on Daf, it's page 35b. Every claim that we might have, there's a rebuttal for. But we can ask an unbelievable question, says the Manchester Rosh Yeshiva. How is it possible for Hashem's rebuttal to be a comparison to an all-time great? You missed that's a bad mashal, but you to tell HaKadosh Baruch Hu that I couldn't make the free throw, and Hashem says, well, Michael Jordan could make the free throw, lahavdo elef alfei alaf, and we can't even compare, but just for the sake of our own understanding, how can you compare an all-time great to us? But Azoy Zak, this is what the Gemara says when we take it literally. Says the Manchester Rosh Yeshiva, we see from this Gemara that is not a question. You have the ability to become great. Re'ei anoichi. Look at Moshe Rabbeinu. The Torah is telling this to us. Im yolad isha echad. A human-born person. A basar v'dam. Someone who has blood flowing through them. Someone who has a heartbeat can become so great. No matter what the challenges he has in his life, you have that potential too to become that great. Or at least the greatest that you can become. And it's not an excuse no matter what you're struggling with. That's what the Gemara tells us. You can become an all-time great, and saying that no fair, you can't compare me to an all-time great, is not a fair claim. We see from here, Parshas Re'eh, the potential that we all have to become all-time greats. Perhaps we can summarize this week's Vard in, don't be average. Recommit to greatness, because it's inside of all of us. A Ma'ir de Shabbos.